Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizano, and this is another episode of the world famous, the Universal of the best podcast in 1, 2, 3 galaxies. But, ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call the show Online Marketing Moves, and we are coming to you live today. It is July the 1st, 2023. It is a Saturday, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to be here, happy to be speaking with you now. Everybody, what do you have planned for this weekend? It's going to be a long weekend for some people. Um, my brother, he said he's going to be off the first, the second, the third, and the fourth. Well, here in America, everybody, we do the 4th of July. I don't know if the rest of the world celebrates America's Independence Day, but I know here we do, and July the 4th. Since it's on a Tuesday, everybody's going to take off Monday and Tuesday and all that jazz. But I myself, of course not. We've taken enough we've taken enough days off for the podcast in June, so we will keep things rolling around here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if today's episode sounds a little strange, we are coming to you live from the computer, and I am using my microphone. I haven't used my AT2020 in quite some time, but here we are. It's a nice looking microphone. I whipped it out. I said, let me use it. Let me record on the computer and see how this thing goes. But so that's that. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I know June was abysmal when it comes to podcast episodes. We did not record them. We did not record a lot, but we will Monday through Friday, and a couple bonus episodes this month. We will roll them out. You know, the one thing that you must be, and when it comes to, you want to start making your own money. You want to start, creating some cash for yourself. Availability is the best ability that you can have. You want to be there every day. You want to be there, you know, most of the time. I know things happen and breaks happen and life happens, but you know, once you get established, you can do that sometimes. But you don't want to make that a habit. You don't want to go away for 6 months and then come back and say, I know you missed me. And nah, I wouldn't take it there. But ladies and gentlemen, one thing that we're going to discuss today, we're going to discuss pain. We're going to discuss, sometimes, in life, we love to be positive, 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 positive. And you want to have a positive attitude, don't get me wrong. But sometimes if you feel pain, sometimes can be a great motivator. And sometimes if you just feel something, if there's ever been a feeling that you had, you think about it for a second and you go, I never want to feel that way again. Sometimes that can prepare you a whole lot more than just being positive, positive, positive. The thing that drives me the most now is the I remember when I was when I remember when I was my first couple years of truck driving. I was just always gone. I was just always gone, always gone, always gone, and it affected relationships. It affected spending time with family and all that. And I think about that now with my daughter, and I can imagine being gone for a month, 2 months, 3 months, away from my away from my child. So, and just the thought of being gone every week or being gone a few days is like a pain that I I have trouble with, and it drives me to do more and to do more and to do more. And within, a month or two, say, hey, enough of this. I'm going to work from home on a full-time basis, and just rip the Band-Aid off and just really go for it. Really ramp up the intensity, because there's nothing stopping you. You don't have, you know, we all have dreams, but sometimes the dreams that you have are, most of the time, the dreams that you have are very achievable, believe it or not. Now, I'm never gonna fly a commercial pilot. I mean, a commercial plane, probably. Like, I'm never gonna fly for Delta. I'm never gonna work for Delta. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not gonna happen. But the things that I want to accomplish, like, being a full-time writer and publishing books and all that, that's right there. That's right. It's very achievable. And there's nothing stopping me but myself. There's nothing stopping you but yourself, because a lot of times the things that you think you can't do are very achievable. You just have to do them. And if you sometimes, if you let the the pain of what stopped you, like, what stopped you, do you not want to put yourself out there? Do you have a fear of rejection? Like, what pain is causing the trepidation? What pain is causing the hesitation? And you think about that, let it wash over you. Just, sometimes you sit there and you go, because it doesn't matter what you do, it doesn't matter what you write, it doesn't matter what you say. There's always going to be a critic anyway. There's always going to be somebody that's going to complain about anything that you do. You open up a restaurant, they're going to say, I don't like it. It can be 99 people say, this is the greatest restaurant I've been to. There's going to be one person that's going to say, I didn't like this, I didn't like that. So it doesn't matter about what people say. It matters about what you think, how you feel. And if there's a pain that you can tap into, there's a pain that you sometimes it's just like, I don't want to ever feel this way again, then you should look into that. The pain I have is being away from my child for too long, too many days. And too many days is 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm at that point. She's 2 now. I was gone for, I would go for a week, come back. I would go for a couple of weeks, come back. I never been gone too long away from my child. But in the last 6 months, I was more going out on the road and whatnot. In the last 6 months, I just said, I can't do this. And I told my wife, and I don't like being away from my wife too long either. So I was telling my wife, I said, I'm I say it's too much. It's becoming too much. I can't handle it. This as uh I'm not as well, I don't want to be. I'm not as tough as I used to be. I don't want to be that tough. I don't want to be, "Hey, I'm doing this for my it's a plenty of ways you can make money. There's plenty of ways you can make money. So, we're gonna go back to doing the weekly thing, the every other day thing. But, you know, I was talking to my wife, and, you know, I told her, I said, I think sometimes we go into a crutch, and we use things as a crutch, and you don't really realize that you're using it as a crutch. And I believe, for me, that truck driving has been a crutch for the last few years, because I'm pretty sure I could have been a lot further down the road than what I am. But you think, oh man, it's easier for me to say I can't do this and I can't do that, because the trucking takes up a bunch of hours. But why am I giving them a bunch of hours when we all know there's plenty of ways for you to make money? There's plenty of ways for you to make money. And so the pain, the last couple of weeks, I've just been thinking about that and letting it sit and letting it, go. And I'm like, no, we're never going to do this again. We're never going to do this again. My mom always tells me never say never. But for me, I can always say that I would never be gone for a month at a time, 2 weeks at a time. You know, no, none of that. So that's just I'm just giving you my story, and hopefully it will help you, because the only thing that's stopping you, I will tell you that over and over again. The only thing that's stopping you is you. You think, oh man, I'm used to doing this, I'm used to doing that. Sometimes you have to throw it all out the window. Sometimes you just have to take a leap. You take a leap, and if you fall, you fall. If you don't fall, then cool. But you're more than likely not gonna fall, because more than likely you will be amazed if you just chunk something out the window and you just say, F it, I'm gonna do it. Then you'll be amazed at what happens. I remember when I was young, and I needed a career. I needed a new career, and I said, "What am I gonna do?" I said, I told my parents, I said, hey, I'm gonna go to truck driving school, and we just gonna see. We just gonna make it do what it do. And they were like, "What? What?" And I was like, "Hey, it is what it is, man. I ain't know nothing about no truck driving. I ain't know anything about anything. And I just jumped out the window. Fell a couple times. It was a little rough in the beginning, but with sometimes you have to go backwards in order to move forward. I'll give you another example, and then we'll skedaddle on out of here. But I remember last year, my daughter, she didn't want to walk, she didn't want to crawl, she didn't want to, she she mm-mm. She did not want to crawl. She mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. And so my wife was getting a little worried. She said, "What if she does it?" And I said, and she'll go straight to. She'll be walking. She'll be wanting to try to walk and all that. And, just so happened right before we put in daycare, one day she just got up and started walking, trying to walk. She would fall and all that, but she just wasn't much of a crawler, but definitely just started walking. And now, she's almost 2. She'll be 2 this month, and now she's running down the street, and she still falls sometimes, but she's a kid. She's always gonna fall. It's just sort of the nature of the beast. And sometimes you have to look at things like a child. I got a nephew. He's my boy. He is 6. He'll be nah. He'll be. Is he 6? I forget. No, 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 no. Yeah, he'll be 6 this year. I love my nephew. I love my little nephew. And see, every year I see him, it's just so much progress, and it's just so much growth, and it's just so much, you know, it's beautiful to watch. And you know, to see him now, he my wife video chatted him the other day, and I can't swim, so that's a funny thing in our family. And he was saying, hey, Uncle Tony can't swim. I have to teach Uncle Tony to swim or whatever. And he said that's gonna be hard to do, and it's very funny. And I always laugh about that. And no, I can't swim. I can't swim a lick, but um, he think is he. It's cool that you know he can swim, and you know he can do all these cool things, and just to see the growth. And for me, in order for me to learn how to swim, I gotta just go. It can't be like a little progress. I just need to get into the deep end and start sort of flapping my arms and kicking my legs and seeing how it goes. Because I'm 44 years old, and there's no little thing, there's no little tricks. I just have to get my body in the deep end and just start trying to swim. And I can figure that out. I mean, I can go to get a swimming lesson, don't get me wrong, but I can't do the same thing. My daughter's taking swimming lessons, and she goes, they dunk her in and all that stuff. Me being the age I am, it's just gonna be like, all right, jump in, start swimming, and see what happens. And it's just that. And yeah, so the pain. If you have a pain, if you feel a pain, don't think it's a bad thing. Don't try to make it go away. Feel it, let it, let it sit there. Just think about it and say, hey, do I want to feel this way again? Do I ever want to feel this again? And the answer will probably definitely be no. And then you'll be amazed at what you can do when you just start doing stuff. You'll be amazed. It'll come to you a whole lot better than what you think. All right. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We will be back Monday with the all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizzano. Thank you for listening. God bless. And as always, everybody, peace.